Okay, call me crazy, but I've been feeling this huge cultural shift happening.
Emma Chamberlain made a doomsday video on her podcast. Anything goes with Emma Chamberlain.
There are so many internet celebrities at this point that it's kind of gone stale a little bit. Number one, because when there's too much of anything powerful, then the power gets diluted, right?
She talks about the cultural shift happening across social media, and I want to talk about it. So here are some takeaways that she brought up in the video. She talks about how social media, or the concept of fame, is going to be obsolete soon. She talked about how, well, in her view, and this is her prediction, and I'm going to counter that. I'm going to bring my perspective, but let me just quickly break down what she talks about. Back in the day, how it was, internet celebrities became famous, and fame was like this elusive thing because we didn't really understand what it meant to be a celebrity, or we didn't have so much information on celebrities, so they were like gods. And she talks about how now, because of the way social media is shaped, there's so many celebrities, or there's so many influencers, and it's almost like there's this oversaturation of content creators and influencers and all these things. And she talks about how she thinks that in the future there are going to be no influencers. She talks about how she thinks in the future there's going to be none of, or no, not no influencers, but no famous people anymore. And I could not disagree more. One thing I want to point out, and I actually responded to her video, and I want to point out that I think that mentality is coming from a scarcity mindset. And it's this idea that, like, yeah, I mean, look, she's young and I get it. In her world, in her algorithm, she just says she's bored of the content that's being pushed out to her. But there are a few things that I want to point out here. The first one is there are 5 billion people on the internet, and there are only 37.8 million influencers. And each person on the internet consumes content from hundreds, if not thousands, of different influencers that are their go-to person for specific information, depending on the type of content that they're looking for and how they want to utilize it. So in my view, there are not enough content creators. And she has a very great point about how fame is diminishing or dwindling. But I don't look at that from a scarcity mindset. I look at it as a good thing. And she actually, in part 2 of the video, she talks about how it's a good thing. And even in Hollywood, celebrities in Hollywood are changing. But to me, I look at it as a good thing because what this tells me is that now there is a creator middle class, right? There's this creator middle class, and TikTok has made great contributions in this. YouTube has also helped, not Instagram, because Instagram sucks. Instagram is like probably the worst app, but I'm going to break that down in a bit. But TikTok has allowed there to be, like, you'll see somebody with like 10 million followers on TikTok and you've never heard of them. So TikTok has created this creator middle class, and I saw when the CEO talked about how that was his goal with Musical.ly, and then they changed it to TikTok. But they have created this creator middle class, and what that means is that, yeah, sure, we might not have superstar celebrities, and I think we're always going to have that segment of society, but now it's like there's a creator middle class, and now people can be micro celebrities, influencers, or have great influence over a group of people. And even if it's 1 million people, that's fine. I think the concept of celebrity and fame is kind of overrated, and positioning these celebrities as gods, it just doesn't work in the modern era. Back in the day, it worked because these celebrities were able to sell products. They used these celebrities to sell movies, to sell music, to sell all sorts of entertainment content, and even just like businesses and their products and services. But today, people, first of all, people people kind of, they want authenticity. They want the truth. And you're going to get the truth more so from a micro influencer, than you're going to get from a bigger influencer or a bigger celebrity. And that's kind of what is appealing to a lot of people. I just think instead of coming at it from a very scarcity, like just a scarcity mindset, thinking that like, oh my God, it's doomsday, it's the end of, celebridom or whatever. I think there's a lot of opportunity that this presents because there's so many more doors that are open, and there's so much room for all of us to be at the top. She was like, everyone's going to walk around being a celebrity and then it's not going to be a special thing anymore. And I disagree. There are 7 billion people on the planet, 5 billion people on the internet, and more people coming every day. They're not enough creators. They're not enough creators. And that's the bottom line. When it comes to Emma Chamberlain, she's definitely a very accomplished influencer, which is really hard. And she really has managed to propel herself into that celebrity status. So she's really somebody to learn from. So that you learn how to not fall off with your business, with your influencer business. So definitely get those tips from her. But another way that you can make sure that you don't fall off as a content creator, as an entrepreneur, or anyone that just has a business is through Taylor Brands, the sponsor of this video. Now, guys, if you head on over to Taylor Brands, you can launch a company in as fast as 5 minutes. It's affordable, it's convenient, it's easy, and I love it. It's really helped me out because you have to make sure you get your taxes right. You have to make sure you get your books in order. You have to make sure all these things are in place. And Taylor Brands really helps facilitate all of that. Another thing that they do, you can make your logo on their website. You can do a lot of things to actually streamline your business to get it rolling fast. So it's actually a great platform, for a great resource for any content creator, any influencer, or anybody really just trying to build a business. Taylor Brands is a great company for that. So make sure you use my promo code. The link is down below. Or if you're watching on TikTok, the link is in the description. Make sure you use my promo code and you can get a great discount on this offer. Guys, launch your company. Be serious. This landscape, this content creator landscape is changing fast. It's getting more and more saturated. It's getting harder and harder. It's getting harder and harder to do it, as Emma Chamberlain is broke down. But you really have to figure out, you have to have your house in order. You really have to make sure you have your house in order. And so in order to get your house in order, you have to register your company first, create a logo, and you can do that all on Taylor Brands. So click the link down below, use my promo code to get a discount. All right, let's keep going. There's another thing she talked about, how the content is boring online.
How many times can you make a TikTok about weird random celebrity drama before it gets stale? How many times can we repeat the same shit on these platforms before it gets stale? Something has got to change. We're all bored of it. I'm sorry. I'm noticing it. I feel like everyone's bored. I'm bored of YouTube. The stereotypical kind of content that gets posted on YouTube, the sort of everyday vlog of it all, the sort of getting ready with me video of it all, the sort of like, the sort of haul of it all, what I've been purchasing recently of it all. The mainstream content on these platforms, I can't get myself to put on a cute outfit just for an Instagram photo anymore. It's so stale.
To me, that's quite a statement, because I think, Emma Chamberlain, she's 21. She hasn't lived, that long or experienced that much of life. And maybe to her, content is boring. But when you think about these 37 million people that are making content online, their content is as diverse as there are ideas on the planet. There are videos about the most random thing, and Google does a good job getting that content to its audience, and TikTok as well, to the people that actually have interest. In fact, it's kind of freaky the way that they're able to get content to its correct audience. Because like they say, Google's always listening. So I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, she was talking about how there's not going to be any celebrities. The content is boring. I think that the creatives, the people that make strong content will always thrive. That is the landscape that we are in. That is what is happening. If you make quality content, strong, entertaining, engaging, compelling content, you will thrive. There is no room for the boring stuff. And it speaks volumes about, she talks about she's bored of seeing those get ready with me videos, those DIY videos, those fashion haul videos. But perhaps that is the kind of content in her algorithm because that is what she's shown interest in, and that's the kind of content she makes. So that's what her algorithm is going to push out to her. But I suggest to any young person that's bored with the internet is to go and live life. Go out, live life, date, read books, watch movies, TV shows, live in the real world, and then come back. And not only are your interests going to evolve, what you're going to start searching for online is going to evolve and is going to change. And then you're going to be fed entertaining content, because I can't get enough content. There's so much content that I'm just like excited to watch when I click on YouTube, or I click on, or I go on TikTok. Instagram is not. But there's just so much engaging content to watch. So I just don't have that experience. And I think maybe her algorithm is limited, but mine is expansive because, I'm very curious. I'm a creator. I'm a content creator. I'm a filmmaker. And I'm a documentarian, and I'm an explorer. So I'm always searching for random stuff, and I'm always getting fed the most random stuff that just really does engage me and entertain me. So I guess like her and I are very different. And I think she's just younger and hasn't just experienced the full life fully yet, and especially, and that's kind of a scary thing when you think about the younger generations, like the Gen Zs, thinking about how a lot of their experiences in life are solely online. Because at least like for millennials, we've lived in a time where we literally grew up in a time where there were tapes and then mini discs or CDs and mini discs and MP3s. We've gone through so much evolution so much of a digital revolution. To us, we've seen all the spectrums. But Gen Zers, some of them haven't seen, they haven't seen that. They've just come up at a time when the internet existed. So they don't even understand what else, the idea, I guess like for them, maybe they don't even watch television, and it's weird for them for someone else to curate what they get to watch on TV. But we are used to this, and maybe that speaks, I don't know, because it's interesting to me because the internet gets more and more interesting every year, and I wonder, how was I still engrossed in the internet back in the MySpace days or even the Facebook days, when that kind of content to me today is boring, right? So I guess maybe what we require is less, or maybe we're just used to the evolution of content. Who knows? But I think when it comes to her, I think live a little. There's so much content for you to watch online. Like I don't believe that excuse. So that's really my take on what she had said. It was a great video that she broke down. Interesting stuff. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. My name is Kenim, and I'll see you next time. A peace.